From the Rosemont outside of Chicago, Illinois, it's Milwaukee Wave Soccer on Super 18. How you doing, soccer fans? Tom Wynn along with Dwayne Mosley as we greet you tonight from the Horizon, the Milwaukee Wave taking on their arch rivals, the Chicago Power. And Dwayne, this is a critical match, especially for Chicago. It's their third game in 3 nights. They lost here last night to the Illinois Thunder, so they've really got to come back to try to win tonight because they take on the Wave tomorrow in Milwaukee. They lose here tonight, it could be 3 losses in 3 days.
And that's the worst scenario that this team has in front of them right now. If they lose here tonight, they go to Milwaukee tomorrow. Should they lose in Milwaukee tomorrow, that would mean they would fall 4.5 games back of national division leading Milwaukee by sundown on Sunday. That is not what the Chicago team wants to have happen. They would love to pick up that game, go to Milwaukee, a game and a half out for the game tomorrow. So if you do lose, the worst you're going to be is 2.5 back, coming back to your home park again.
This will be the second meeting between these clubs this season. The Power defeated the Wave 20-12 here at the Horizon this past December 23rd. And in that game, Dwayne, it was Felipe Hernandez in the nets for Milwaukee. Coach Johan Aarnio going with him again tonight.
Well, and Felipe, I'm sure, is very happy about that, getting a chance to kind of redeem himself here. We'll find out. He's 3-4 on the season. Tony Pierce gets the night off. Top 1-loss mark in the league at 9-2. So for Felipe, hopefully everything goes his way tonight, gets a little help out in front, and the Wave can pull it out here against Chicago.
This has not been an easy place for the Wave to play. They have lost 8 of 9 career appearances here in the Horizon. We'll be back with the start of tonight's action right after this. You're watching Wave Soccer on Super 18. Back at the Rosemont Horizon, Tom Wynn along with Dwayne Mosley as we are just concluding our pregame festivities before tonight's match between the Milwaukee Wave and the Chicago Power. Dwayne, taking a look at the offensive and defensive comparisons between these teams. Should be what I would expect to be a fairly high-scoring game. You've got the number 4 and 5 teams offensively in the league. Milwaukee, 4th, averaging 12.2 per game. Chicago right behind them at 11.9. And defensively, both teams up among the top 4. Milwaukee second. They're giving up 10-8. Chicago right behind them at 10-9, but I think especially with a couple of young goalkeepers going tonight, we may see some high-scoring, wide-open soccer.
And again, we go back to that initial appearance and only appearance by the Wave against Chicago this year, or I should say this season, the 23rd of December, Felipe Hernandez in goal when the Wave lost 20-12. And now we have the presentation of our colors and a moment of silence for our troops in the Middle East. McGrath out of Lombard, Illinois, with a fine rendition of our national anthem. Thomas?
teams now taking another minute to loosen up here. And as we talked about at the outset, this has now been a place, Dwayne, where the Wave has enjoyed a lot of success. This is the third year of the rivalry between the clubs. Milwaukee has been down here 9 times, including one postseason appearance back after the 88-89 season. And the Wave has won here just one time. In fact, that was nearly a year ago to this date, back on January 22nd, when they defeated the Power by the score of 14-10. And since that's been the only victory here down at the Horizon, you know Milwaukee's got their work cut out for them.
And we get a chance to listen to Johan Aarnio across the way. Yeah, just to touch on that, and by the way, for our viewers tonight, we're going to be popping in and out with Coach Aarnio of the Wave. We have a live microphone on him for tonight's game, and from time to time we'll be able to pick up some of the conversation, some of the direction he is giving to his team. And you see fast Eddie Henderson on the Milwaukee bench as we get set to start this game tonight. And yes, the Wave has a chance, if they get out early, to put some real pressure on the Power, because the Power are kind of in one of those slumps right now, not playing real well. They've lost 2 out of their last 3 and coming off a loss last night.
The officials for tonight's game, you see them there, Steve Olson and Ahmed O'Day. And we are underway. The Wave decked out in their traveling blue uniforms, moving it right to left as you look at it on the screen. And that one going out of bounds in the scorers bench right below us. Arturo Velasco will put back in play for the Wave. Velasco and Banks on the back line to start it, with Kelly Ortiz and Pastor up front for Milwaukee. And there's the young goalkeeper. He just turned 20 last week, Russ Prince. Prince, a former All-Stater at Lyons Township High School in LaGrange, Illinois, just outside of Chicago. Only making his 4th appearance of the year. Has a record of 1-1 with an 11.55 points against average. Ed Pascarich trying to center one off the end board, but Felipe Hernandez making the play. Felipe has played well as of late. He's won his last 2 decisions, both against the Illinois Thunder, and he comes into tonight's match with a record of 3-4, a 12.05 points against average. He's actually brought that down quite a bit in his last few appearances. So Coach Johan Aarnio hoping that Hernandez can come up with a big effort tonight and help Milwaukee get a victory down here. Foul called as Joey Kirk got knocked down. Joey continuing to have a very productive season for the Wave. This is only his 13th game, but he is 5th in the team in scoring with 31 points. Pastor leading with 48. That is tied for 15th in the league with Chicago's Teddy Kraft. And it'll be a goal kick coming up for the Power.
You had mentioned Milwaukee's frustrations here, Tom, a couple of moments ago, having lost 8 of 9. I guess when you look at the Milwaukee Wave roster and so many new faces, most of these guys are 0-1 here. And maybe that's one thing that the Wave has going for them, is that the fresh faces starting on this roster this season, they're not overly concerned about the previous dates here and the losses here. They got a chance to get out of here 1-1.
Foul as Lee was trying to break it out of there. Interesting note about Rogers, he is playing in his 65th consecutive game tonight, Dwayne. That's the longest current streak going on the Wave. And actually, if not for having missed a playoff game a couple of years ago, this would be his 129th consecutive game. So he's been quite an Ironman for the Wave.
He hasn't actually had the greatest luck staying out of the sick room either. He's had some knee surgeries, and so that's a real credit to Lee Rogers, the fact that he's had to play in some pain and he's kept himself ready to go game to game. That's a great record, 65 straight.
Pastor coming into Keith Falk. Keith with a couple of goals in the Waves' 9-2 victory over Detroit this past Thursday at Bradley Center. Now Diego trying to chase that one back as he got some pressure from Larry Sunderland, the ex-Wave player. Felipe Hernandez coming out of the net to knock it away, and the foul called against Sunderland. There you got to look at Felipe, 25-year-old native of Claremont, California.
3 wins, 4 losses for Felipe. 15th in the league amongst goalkeepers.
Got off to a slow start, but he has played very well as of late. Here's Tima trying trying to run by. Prince out of the box for a moment, as now Chicago going to clear the zone and move it back. That is Cone Thanadamut, another local product. Moving it up to 19-year-old Jay Rensick. Rensick could have been called for a handball as he got tripped down, but they play on, and Hernandez is able to scoop it up. Rensick will not turn 20 until this March. He is a former All-American out of Naperville, and Glenn, he looks like he is going to be a big, big star for this team for many years to come.
I know they really like him.
Rene Ortiz hitting it back to Velasco, and now to Diego Mondagarin. Trying to go back for Ortiz, but Piscarich with good position, able to break it up. And now Ortiz going to get called for the foul.
You were talking about Rensick and being a star, and I know one thing that the point Coach Aarnio made about him, and that's the fact that he has a pretty good grasp. He seems to play mature on the field, playing in control when he moves downfield. So that's something that I know Coach Aarnio looks for in any player, especially a young player, how mature they handle themselves in attack situations.
Joey Kirk able to break up that Chicago attack. Here's Jimmy Banks, who's back with the Wave for this weekend on leave from the U.S. national team. Now Ortiz with a shot, and he scores! As Velasco set him up, and the 21-year-old rookie from Anaheim turns on the light. The Wave leads it 2-0.
Very nicely done, and we talked about the importance of the Wave getting out in front tonight and what that could possibly mean to the Chicago Power coming off a loss last night to last place Illinois. Here you see Velasco coming in from the left, and the shot off the left foot of Ortiz, and the Wave out in front 2-0 as Russ Prince falls behind against Milwaukee.
That was number 11 on the year for Ortiz. He is now tied with the injured Tim Bartro, second on the team in scoring, each with 34 points. Arturo Velasco picks up his 11th assist. Arturo, who had a sensational game defensively against Detroit Thursday night, shutting down league scoring leader Andy Chapman, has also been pretty productive offensively. So a nice combination there as the Wave jumps out to the 2-0 lead. Now as they work it back in the attacking zone, here's Michael Richardson trying to center it, but nobody there except Dean Kelly on the other side for the Wave. There's Fast Eddie as he works it on the now Jimmy Banks, whose arrival has been very timely with that injury to Bartro. Tim out with a pulled groin injury for Carlos Basso. Over to Tima. Now Falk, near side. Keith trying to draw the keeper out. He managed to do so, but good play by Prince to knock it away. Back they come. Otto Marhedic trying to move in, and as they pile up in front of the net, foul going to be called. Marhedic going to get called for the foul there as he plowed everybody over. What he was trying to do that time was volley it off the end board to himself to get around the defender, but good position that time as Milwaukee was able to break it up. So Hernandez will put it in for Tima. 4.5 minutes gone by here in the first quarter. The Wave leads it 2-0 on the goal by Ortiz from Velasco at 3:11.
Chicago 6-7 when the opponent scores first. So we'll see if that holds true here this evening in favor of Milwaukee.
Keith Falk playing it on the far board. Now we'll leave back for Diego. This field here at the Horizon a little bit wider than normal. And it's a wide, and it turns upfield. Keith going to get called for the holding foul. Wave on the road this year, they played fairly well, 6-4 overall. Chicago at home just 6-5. I'm sure that home record has to be a disappointment.
Especially last night. I mean, losing to the last place Thunder and not scoring in 2 of the periods, getting shut out of the first, third, and your best effort was 4 points in the final when at that point you were down 10-2. So it was a long way to come back for the Power last night, and they just never made it.
That was Jay Rensick with the 3-point bomb. Any shot made outside the yellow line in the attacking zone is worth 3. And Rensick loaded it up that time, but he got under it too much and put it into the stands. So it'll be a goal kick coming for the Wave. as they finally get the ball back to Felipe Hernandez. Felipe throwing it down, looking for Kelly, but Dean had pulled up at midfield. And it goes all the way back to Yakovlevich. Now they turn out to head it away, but Pato gets back, shot, save! Oh, what a save there! Gets cut off by Falk and Velasco. Get out of there. You see some of the fine reactions there by Velasco, which has enabled him to defenders in this already. And Chicago going to get called for an over and back violation, and that's a new rule this year, Dwayne. We talked about it on our earlier telecast, that once the offense from its own defensive end and they cross that line, they cannot put it back, although that time I'm not sure how that call was interpreted, but anyway, that's the spirit of the call. And Keith Falk taken down hard, and we're going to have our first penalty of the contest.
Well, the Wave will go play. You see the penalty coming up on number 9. It's been called on Manny Rojas. So Rojas will go to the box.
We're going to take a 7:25 left to go in the first quarter. It's Milwaukee 5, Chicago nothing. You're watching Wave Soccer on Super 18. While we were gone, the Wave attempted the shootout after the tripping penalty to Rojas. Arturo Velasco did it, and we'll take a look at it right here. Arturo moving in against the power goalkeeper, Russ Prince. Prince doing a good job to come out to the top of the box and push it away. You only get 5 to try to score. And
on the season in the shootout, you see the success for Milwaukee, 6th in the league, make them 14 for 40 now. Chicago somewhat better, 3 at 42%. The Wave again at 14 for 40.
There you see Wave trainer Larry Sales making his way bench. Larry, the lone charter member of the Milwaukee Wave from its first season back in 1984-85. And he does a great job. Keep help.
During that timeout, Johan Aarnio, his troops, keep running. They're running with us. Let's make them keep running. And you're off to a great start.
With Tron, Banks, and Pastor on the power play. Milwaukee so far this year is 6th in the league, 14 of 45. They're converting at Banks hustling to Hernandez. Chicago, as far as penalty killing is concerned, they're 5th in the league. They've killed off 20 of 30, so they're killing off 2 of the opponent's plays. They've got Tommy Isaro, Richardson, Hall, and Adati. The defenders, again, 2 minutes on opportunity. Prince, he's stopping Velasco. Point shootout. A perennial all-pro defender steps up to knock away. Minute to go on the power play. This is the first power play of the evening for either team. Steve down as in the Banks. Now Pastor on the corner. And the pass to try to clear downfield. Basso able to knock out. Jimmy Banks for Tron. Now centering, and as Pastor put it onto the foot of Joey Kirk. Joey trying to get under it and stands. It'll be a goal kick for Chicago. 48 seconds left to go on the Wave play. Milwaukee 1 for 3 on the play against the other night.
What a great effort by Tony Pierce, huh?
There you get a look at the success. And as there's a collision, field riding in pain. Jimmy has got his right thumb or wrist wrapped.
He's going to take a header, it looks like.
Going up with Michael Richardson. Ooh. As they banged noggins that time, and it looks like Jimmy took the worst of it. Larry Sales going out to it. Jimmy, a pretty hard-nosed competitor, back down. He really took one that time from Richardson, who certainly is drinking.
Larry Sales taking out Jimmy. He may have a few stops. That word maybe what it appeared to be on the replay. Shot to the wrap his head. See Mike.
We'd like to remind everybody that you're watching Wave Soccer on Super 18 WVTV Milwaukee. Now Richardson, not phased. Doesn't look like it. And there, Jimmy now sitting. Sales can to finally his feet. Remember that the Waves home game will be tomorrow afternoon at the Bradley Center. Game time 1:05 as the Waves takes Chicago Power back to their arch rival. And so far the Wave off to a good start tonight. Nothing. Still early. 6-7 left to go in the period. And the Wave power play start after Jimmy Banks goes off the field. So hopefully Jimmy's okay. We're going to see him back later on. Carlos Bass against the not a Pastor who moved the point. Banks is absent. Tron over back to Pastor. Finally shoots one in. Making and Joey put down the foul called against Michael Richardson.
Talking about Jimmy Banks and being with the Wave for this weekend, he'll reconvene his nation with the national week. Back forward.
Anderson row Adley right in front of the Wave bench and for the foul. So Chicago will retain position. To Manny Rojas, listed 5. He's 45. The last solid player, the Chicago Power. And Rojas apparently going to get called for the foul. And neither does the crowd here at the Horizon.
Manny just finished a 2-minute penalty for tripping. Feels like card stack.
Trying to go back to the pass was off the mark. He went up. Looking for the ball. Hernandez gets it back. It's frantic as we had at the outset, but I'm sure it'll pick up as we go along tonight. Now Felipe trying to shield from the blade. He does it nicely. Away. And a center off the end board, and he was trying to go across Rojas, but Felipe right there to Ortiz coming. Rene with the strong left foot fires, scores! Rene Ortiz already with the hat trick, and we aren't even 11 the game.
And I think on the play was see. Look at Dottie getting in the way out here. He kind of splits a Dottie and Prince, and it. Wow, what an open quarter for Rene Ortiz. It is Ortiz 7, the Chicago 4-0.
Well, the league record points scored just a week ago, actually 6 days in her Andy Chapman scoring 15 and 28-14. Ortiz already with 7 tonight. Who knows, Dwayne, if this.
I know Chicago scored Teddy Kraft. I don't think we've seen him yet. Didn't get any word before the game. He wasn't going to be able to play, but Kraft hasn't been in the game yet.
power.
Marhead, their coach, has got the feeling uneasy about things are going well. And about Chicago.
Well, as we talked about at the top of our telecast, what possibly happened has already for Chicago, and that is behind, and then begin to put pressure on themselves in the first of this two-game series with the Wave. Tonight, 2-0.
Keith coming in. Keith to him, a dive to knock it away. Having a veritable nightmare on the field is fit in against it. Now that happens once in a while. Crazy game. The ball takes a lot of hops out there. Falk with a nice defensive play to prevent Richardson cruising in. Out, take away with a save and follow. Score as it just snuck across the team. I believe in the replay, Dwayne,
right.
if we get a look, that was, and the Power cut the deficit back to 5. It's now Milwaukee 7, Chicago 2.
It just got up underneath the crossbar, the top bar. You'll see it here. Richardson lets it, and there it is, just up. That is a goal. And they're trailing 5, 7-2. Richardson scored. Sent some stars through the head. Jimmy picks up the first game. We'll get another look at it here. You see the by Hernandez, and right out front is Richardson to follow, and yes, it is indeed a goal.
Now Diaz coming back. Prince in, scoop it up. Prince, that's a pretty far. 6 to Lotto, taking it right off. Foul. Taking the 19-year-old rookie and putting him into the box and in for the Wave. Store unable to control that one, and it'll go back to Chicago. So Sadri Junbalai with the assist. Junbalai was just picked up from the New York kick a couple in a catch. That is his first as a member of Chicago. 24 points over this year, including his with New York. 7-2, the leads down to the 2 first quarter. For another exciting edition of Waves here on Super 8 TV. And things looking good for the Waves so far. Chicago momentum by Michael against the Waves here. Missed shot over the bar. There to send it back in to the Powers zone and Rent for a foul. A little frustrated there as he put velocity up against the glass. Rensick just 19 years old, but as you said, Dwayne, he played much older.
He
or himself difficult working the extreme. Kirk, it's a 3 for Milwaukee. Here's Kirk. One time, and he chips it into the stand. By Rene, the pass to Joey maybe just a little bit far out. He had to slide out further to get it than he wanted to, and subsequently wasn't quite able to board. Still, the Wave looks good here, Dwayne. Offensively, the defense, they really allowed Chicago many good opportunities.
And the ball goal, and that's what you want. Down and get a the Wave has been able to do here in this opening quarter.
Dakalevich on the near side to Thanadambo. They just put Ko-T on the third. On the base. Look at the man called T. And the reach is over the glass. They're going to last touch Wave, so a corner Power. 9 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Milwaukee leading 7-2. Marhetic will put back in. Rensick trying to control. stay with Chicago. Now Ahmed Ode, the official, that they started. Jean Balai trying to work around Banks. Jimmy doing a good job to cut him off on the baseline. The shot! Get in there! Clear it! Another shot. Yakovlevich is off the mark. Here's a double. Boy, they just... Headache getting it back. Pato's on a move. Bump the boards, and now they're going to foul against Jimmy Banks.
Man, I'll tell you, Pato Marhetic.
Ball.
He put on a move to get.
And eventually going to get it down. After Jimmy.
Look at the last by Chicago. Here's Marhetic. Tima, look at the move to his right. Bang, he lets it go, and just off the crossbar. That was a couple of hitches. The same spot where Richardson hit the goal. Closed the gap to 7-2. Well, that was a flurry. Hernandez came out.
Wave is going to take a time now. You have to get the ball back in the box to the goalkeeper in order to take. Wave is going to do so with 19 seconds left. 19 seconds in the first quarter.
See if we can pick up Johan Aarnio here and see what he has to say.
Thing, guys, listen. Defensively, we can get better. I prefer having you at the you're the defender going forward. Okay, Eddie. At the back, and Tima blocking the shot. Free kick. You go to the ball. You get to the back. All right. Okay. All right. Be careful with your matchup.
About where he wants Eddie is, and where Tim Tima. Make sure you're aware of your matchups. Hey, Johan Aarnio is into the game, isn't he?
Very intense coach. Tactically, perhaps one of the most progressive coaches in all of professional soccer. Hernandez. For pass on the near side. 6 seconds. Trying to Prince. And that's going to do it for the period. 4 seconds, and that is minutes to play from the Horizon. Milwaukee Wave. A 5-point lead. Milwaukee 7, Chicago 2, back in quarter. Right after this on Super 18. Chicago the 2, and there's a look at the game. Will be coming up 1 o'clock. The rematch between these teams, and of course, we'll see these again in our next test, February 22nd at the Brand Center. Big night as the Wave will be hosting the Power once again.
These two teams certainly having a great quarter. And on the bench after one, following all attacks, keep pushing, keep winning the other. Chicago really pushes the ball, and Ross up there. After that, when they're not there, they don't move the ball as push it as often.
Russ to the aforementioned pot, but job by double team with Jimmy moving it up. Eddie. I tried to put it out. Boy, the action. He is incredible the way he moves out there. Brett Hall to Larry Sunderland. Larry, the X-Wave player. Blonde hair, much like Coach Hedrick.
Recently, you're going to hard time coming down. I can see why.
With the shot. Harry and Pato aren't playing it on the same line tonight. They had that way.
Going to those wave practices when on the team, easy to pick out.
We'll restart it in Moscow to the floor. So power will maintain. Redding doing all wave in the a couple of twos and a three, and Redding moved up to 7 and the points. Again, Pastor leading with 48. Pastor only 5 in scoring. Had excellent balance and have 5 guys with 30 points or more, 7 with more. So it's offensive team lead. Diego now back for and we got a P. Here's and that one ringing just off the post. Milwaukee again with Diego Montegarin is going to go to the penalty box. Dive in for the but he missed the ball and got Pato. And really not much choice for Steve Olson but to pull out the card situation.
Apologizing to Pato, saying going after the ball. Got a good of our head. See, Diego goes to the penalty box. We were talking about, and then you look at Detroit at 10 and 10 game with the lead 4 scorer in Chapman Drago. So Johan Aarnio wanted to develop with this team, and that was balanced scoring. Everybody, and that's been the game.
Teddy's in this cap 9%. Hernandez has them. And Felipe once again. The 11 he has faced.
A tremendous lift. You mentioned he'd been playing well, and here's a look from behind. Here you go. How do you stop it? This. You move up, you hold, and then Kraft makes his move. Hernandez block shot.
So we'll go on the time tonight. And the Chicago Spar, they are for 30. The Wave, as far as penalty is killed off at 63%. 2 minutes, a 1-point opportunity. At 7-2. 2 minutes gone by in the second period. Richardson trying to run in the back for Hernandez. In the last of the penalty will throw for Eddie as he tries to move around. And the doing a good job to keep the pressure on offense. Wave as a team, one of the prolific units as far as scoring shorthand far this season.
Chicago 67%, 61% the penalty.
Here's work it back out. You're doing a control as he goes to the door. Job to kill some time. Here's on the short pass to and the ball rolls across. Kelly to get there in bridge. Kelly. Some great pressure away as they almost converted short.
Well, there's an example again. Johan Aarnio's strategy in wanting everybody to be a scorer, thinking about scoring. And that's why you have a team or a goal. Get a team relies on guys to have that. You're not those kind of on a shorthanded situation anyway.
15. As the shot block, Marhetic follow. Henderson one the way he pointed. Henderson set up this block.
Eddie Henderson set that play up. What is something to think about, and you saw Johan Aarnio getting the ball. Look at the situation. It did the situation. I'd be willing to bet another opportunity this time out. Play would come up with one.
You could see Kelly in his hand. He missed the time. He tried to post. You know, we won't miss too many of those. Unfortunately, that time did not want it to. Teams back to full strength. Field. Now Victor just acted. He had been out the third season with knee injury. Team battling to knock it there. Took the wave the playing ball. Talking about Tima, he went the first 14 games this year, Dwayne. And up 10 last 4. Tima back to normal, I guess you'd say, the all-time here in the NPSL.
Yeah, he said his first was stupid. Someone and bad about
the call Atlanta. Want him to commit his first like that. Great throw by Gunbalai taking it away. He's got a lethal time by Velocity. Second league action into today's. T tries to go for hits Adati in the back. And taking away his doubling it up, doing a good job. Here comes Stork. Shot it, chips it into the. Oh, for turning on the lights with opportunities, doing so. See Renee shaking his. He's breaking already. 2-2 pointer in the first quarter. Probably was his best opportunity to shoot all.
That's what he was doing. Can you believe that? My best chance. Coming up at halftime, President Manager Creek, part of our halftime for you.
Back downfield. Ball and ball just clears it out of play. Right in front of it. 50 left to first up. In this period, Milwaukee lead 7-2.
We'll also have highlights, a little recap of All-Star game in Atlanta.
Now to 11. Score really not indicative of most actually to be.
Johan Aarnio coached his team back. Tie turned it back to 11.
As Tima able to get it out to midfield. Richardson. Bicycle, but the prep on the Prince able to get it. Yakovlevich move around the 8, knocking it away. Tries the shot, puts it into the stand. Dwayne, the pace has picked up here a little bit in the second quarter. It's a team that likes to run. They get opportunities, and alluded before, when they will get a pull on every situation, especially in the counter-attacking mode.
That's what they're now heading Rojas on the field. So Yo was telling him to be at their best. You've been able to deny this. Backing the ball first, just don't let it slow. Still 7.
Wave is 5-1, leading after the first. Actually, the second quarter is their best at point per entry. They've out. Good job by Henderson again to bring it up as team walks it to Ortiz. Foul call. Doing a good job. As you might imagine, lost between these.
Pretty spirited. Little Soccer USA.
Ortiz one in. Kirk faced down. Kirk put it in the box. Break out of there. Falk will down for the way. Outfield who possesses a team over to Joey Kirk. But that's a to do it.
It was a time and Haddadi was in between the ball and Fritz. The back leg of it.
Goes flying over to keep it in. Hernandez out to make play. Good reaction. That was a situation for control away from Renson. Now to Keith had 2 goals in each. Situation to a being very patient here. Ortiz and Kirk net out and so will control. Here comes Diego. This one is turning. Got there to out of a hands. Team has sent. We're going to have a timeout out of the field. 15 left to go first half. Chicago 2. Way for 18. So good effort there by Yakovlevich. Ortiz almost with goal. Brett Hall calling it for Jumbo. Jimmy Banks to shut him. Able to knock Henderson. Marhetic, and now they're down. Bowling ball out.
Eddie Henderson. Johan Aarnio was telling that the most important thing that they're now that they did back in the first quarter, that play midfield. They're not getting off a lot of shots, but also to be patient. Don't try to force things. Your chances will come right here in command.
Rojas getting it along. Have a team up within the last. Here's Marhetic set. Back up. Way just defensively in this half field situation. Dumbalai's going to try it. And now now trying to break. Less than 5 to go in the first half. All right, a little bit of is and George, who can shoot really well, putting out Prince. Knocked down by Store, and the goals again. One of stock last several seasons. Still just Jakob trying to, and Felipe Hernandez coming up. Looking pretty sharp for tonight, Dwayne.
He really is. Consider how Felipe gave up 20. He's allowed only 2. First half. Seconds to very sharp. Wants Velasco to this. Diego trying to run it. Here's Diego trying to turn it on. Rogers. Now Diego to Rogers. Rogers. Back at midfield and try to get over. So they don't get too impatient offensively. That goes around. Adade for Rich. Heading. Pato 8th, and he taps the Chicago. Just and Diego waits to knock the ball away, but his pass. 3:20 to go. With Jimmy Bang, has been on the guard, a great acquisition. Jimmy does this defensively, and again talking to a guy who's well. Hernandez. And at least he's able to push it out of Joey trying to stay with and a foul call. I think Tim Tebow right there, some penalties he has learned. Here's the just deflected. It's going to kick wave. Oh, wrong. Take another look at it here, Dwayne. No, as foul on Tima. On the restart, they put it. He was one. How many of those he missed? Not too many at all. At least us, but Chicago not had the kind. As they keep these opportunities, you know, really with an opportunity to take it out here. Right? Richardson gets a full good position, taps it to Hernandez. To Kemp, there's one straight on. Prince, side. Into the score. Here's the replay on the save. Reactions. Restart. We've got a tap into video here.
I was trying to tell you what to do. We're going to kill too much time and charges, you know. When he gave it to you, you didn't have to up. we get it. Listen, boys. You have
what Felipe Hernandez exchange.
Johan, they're not try to push too much. Try to see if they can time. In other words, if they down 2 on 3 on in the back, see if they can set it up offensively.
The young fans having on the steps. Had tripped. Really enjoyed those. Up them, you can roll them. It's tough to roll 4-year-olds.
The Rensick, he knocked down. They play on. Now, was dribbling there. Here's made by Tron with a great individual effort. Ortiz takes from Richards. Back for Tron. Lay Prince able to could get there. To go. Nobody has tallied in this. As Banks comes up. Now Rojas trying to center for a kick. Boy, Felipe, look as we have seen today.
He is really well. Took a hot take. The sprouter. And is playing. He's playing with the Tony Pierce played all season long, and you are.
And the was complaining because he thought for the team that has advantage. Michael Richards. Dwayne right now in NPSL. Now with a 9.08 point. Doing a heck of a job.
There's only under 10 points against average.
Those marks for the power, but Milwaukee again screaming because they thought first half. So no in the second. Milwaukee can halftime. Game 7. Chicago for 2. With our halftime break. Soccer.
Johan Aarnio, head coach of Milwaukee. As Chicago.
Town bands will win a trip to the Motown Music Museum. 9 per ticket, along with a free Tintro cup. 962 Wave for more information.
Red Risers now.
Level of without a prescription.
Oxy.
It's the first patient
jam-packed arena brings excitement each week on the WWF Wrestling Challenge. Gorilla Monsoon as all the excitement here on Wrestling Challenge.
Found themselves down 8-2 in one quarter against the American Stars. Stars close to 3 after the game would be scored a goal in the 8-point opening. Chicago here the final. Another goal, another assist. Points in all.
And we had a go there, and I think everybody did a tremendous game back in camp. And I think that everybody that was involved really knew that it was class off the game field. We game.
Rosemont Horizon coming. Wave soccer on Super.
Hot 7 looks.
Well, you don't win. My watch. Not.
I like my pocket.
Coach, I've been standing by all season. Will you play me?
Big guy, son. Seen it yet? Drinking milk. Easy. I'm growing. For strong bones.
Give me the shot. When I'm all filled. Rock.
But all.
Yo, milk does it by. Is mature.
Sunday night, 7:30.
Mom was phone me, dear. Yes, look at all that time on that. Dangerously, isn't what Harry. Sure, just really rich and mate. Oh, and cabin syrups, irresistible maple for more than.
Rosemont Mosley along with, and it's a 7 here at the half. Great open first quarter. Ortiz scoring all 7 points. Quarters for this game for the way. Management, it's been 19 almost so far for the way.
Years. I think we have a team starting to only 7. Really fire in the second half and put it away, but we're all good out putting the ball feet. You know, in working coming together.
The NPSL obviously gone for the so far.
I think it's real good organization, Frank, the new owner in Chicago. I think he's second franchise doing phenomenal. We were just out our game.
It certainly would be nice, and we talk about it. Nice to see MPSL work things indoor soccer league of soccer.
Well, it's not just MSL, the MPSL, Wayne. It's East Outdoor League. There's US. What's going on at that? I think we're very, very close. I think when Rothman, a man plan, our leaders in our organization on committee that's together the future for soccer and several divisions. As on our majority off have been working very we have a lot of things on the table right now.
Ron, the president, always a good work.
I'd just like to thank Channel 8 for partner in the playoffs, and now it's going to be a pleasure with Channel 18.
We'll be back. These messages. You're watching West Soccer on Super 18.
Limited close-out buys. The 19 gotta go with 14 V-Hull, 15 horse in. This 50-foot V-Hull with trailer, 30 horse, 89 that we bought those up. Are now at Lakeland, but surely on
Green Bay. Also, volleyball. That's right. Soccer USA serves for everyone at Soccer USA. You can rent it. Part of Milwaukee. Soccer.
long will last. Welcome home.
This is not planned.
In the hands Sunday afternoon at 4. Super 18.
You see the score, Milwaukee in the Chicago 2. On our halftime festivity. And Dwayne, an excellent first half for the Wave is down enough. Certainly the hour